So we know from social media that you have been out there several times supporting people affected by this appalling crisis. And I know that I speak for all of us in the glazing industry when I say that we support, we admire, and we just thank you for the incredible difference that you're making.
Thank you.
But what was it, if you can cast your mind back, that first led you to becoming involved with this humanitarian effort? Was there a specific moment?
I was literally watching the news one night, and I just thought, I'm sat here, and surely there's something that I could do somewhere. So I just had a look around and just Googled volunteering opportunities, and there was nothing. So I thought, surely there's going to be something on social media about this. So I found a group on Facebook, and just got chatting to a few people, and what do you do, how do you do it, and the general gist was you fly to Poland and wing it. So that's what I did.
What kind of support are you helping to provide when you're out there?
So it changed massively. So from the first time I went out there, I was literally helping refugees get from Ukraine to Poland, get them over the border, get them to safety. Some of these people have been on buses for 20, 30 hours. The buses have been shot at. They'd come from basements. They'd seen missiles. There was all in complete state, to be honest. So it was just a case of calming them down, giving some food, water, getting them onto the next destination. But even in just the 6 weeks between trips, it had gone from helping refugees over the borders, helping them on, to getting to the border and there being nobody there. So it was a case of having to go actually into Ukraine and just support everybody in the country, really, to what they need. Yeah, everything really.
I remember reading that you met one young girl whose phone was tracked while helping people out of dangerous areas of Ukraine. So can you tell us more about that woman's experience and how that affected you?
Yeah, so she said that she'd come from the Luhansk area, which is a relatively newly occupied region. She said that she'd helped her mum leave because her mum was a sort of not elderly, but she was older, and she wanted to get her to safety first. But she chose to go back and get more women and kids out. Um, she couldn't. She told her grandparents to leave, but her grandparents said, "No, we've got farm animals here. We want to stay. We can't leave them." So she had to make the choice to leave them, and she got over to towards Vinnytsia kind of region, which is sort of central Ukraine. And then she got a message on her phone saying that, you've been tracked. We know that you're still in Ukraine. If you come back, you'll either be deported or we'll kill you, basically.
Gee.
So she's had to make that decision that now she can't go back and help her grandparents. She can't even keep in touch with them. And she said, I don't even know if they're still alive. And throughout the whole time she was talking about this, her face was just, when you look at somebody and there's just nothing behind their eyes, she was just completely
Traumatized.
traumatized. Yeah, and it's you try to stay strong for them people. You try and listen to the story, but you're fighting back tears constantly.
I'm
It's
sure.
yeah, really difficult.
So hard. Do you know if there's any kind of mental health support that they're provided when they're out there, or is it literally just that people turn up and provide what they can?
Yeah, people just provide what they can. So the centre that I was working with towards Venezia, they provided military support, provided civilian support. If you needed somebody to talk to, or if everyone's always there for each other. They're an amazing community and such strong people. They're inspirational, they really are.
It's incredible to hear. What can people within our industry do to help people like that young woman that you met on this trip? How can we support not just you, but these people? What can we do?
The biggest thing for them at the minute in Ukraine is, they need the weapons to be able to defend themselves, to be able to push them back and reclaim the territories. And I think the biggest thing for them at the minute is, I kind of got the feeling that when I was there, they just wanted to show me everything. They wanted to tell me everything because they wanted me to come back here and share their stories, because they said, we feel like we're forgotten. We feel like that everyone's kind of getting almost blank to the news. The news doesn't really pick it up anymore. And they just want people to just keep sharing the stories, don't forget about them, and keep donating aid. There was at this centre, there there was one room and they said, oh yeah, this was once full to the ceiling with boxes of aid, and it's dwindling off because people just think, oh, I've done my bit now, we're 3 months into it, it's dwindling away. So I think for people to carry on doing things, donate to the organisations that are actually on the ground. People like the Red Cross, there's no presence in Ukraine at all. You see the sponsored adverts on Facebook, raise money for refugees and things like that. It's actually only 9% of their funds that actually go to the countries that they're doing the promotions for.
Wow.
There's no boots on the ground there. There's nothing. Whereas, the organisation that I was with, they've got a PayPal account. They say, look, please donate to us, and donate to them, because they're the people that buy the stuff, they get it out there, they get it to the people that really need it.
If you had just one thing that you want people who are watching this video to take away, what would that be?
Don't forget about them. Don't just, you become blind to horrors, don't you? You scroll through Instagram and eventually you just scroll on, don't you? So please don't. Put your stories out on social media and try and draw attention to it as much as you can, and you just get full on trolled by people.
Really?
Yeah. I had someone saying that I was virtue signalling. I've been accused of war tourism.
That's awful.
Yeah, like really, really nasty messages. So many people have jumped on the Ukraine bandwagon where they'll set up Just Giving pages, say that they're going to help. They'll fly somewhere, safe like Lviv, and get all the photos in front of all the monuments and whatever, fly back and say, yeah, I've been to Ukraine and helped. So there are people out there that are doing that and then pocketing the money that they've raised.
Okay.
So people do that. People, everyone sees things as an opportunity, don't they, and jumps on it. So
I hadn't thought of that.
So some people do that. So they'll see somebody like me and think, why would you go to a war-torn country? Have you really been? Is it just war tourism? Is it this? Is it that? It's like, I've been in when a missile's hit. You don't put yourself in that situation just for a bit of tourism.
Of course not. Definitely not.
On.
I'm shocked that you experienced that, because it seems so genuine to me from your coverage that I've seen. And of course there are things that you can't share anyway, so of course you're not going to be sharing photos of certain regions and certain things that you've done, because it would make the situation less secure for those people. So
exactly. Coming back to a safe United Kingdom, I'm leaving them there. If I start shouting publicly, oh, there's an organisation that's exactly in this location, what are they going to do?
You can't do that.
I've had some comments that people are saying like, oh, your inspiration this, hero that, and I'm like, no, don't pick up on that side of it. I don't want that. I'm just nobody. Just focus on what is happening with them and leave me out of it. So many people since I've been back have said, all of your stories are completely different to what's on the news.
It's interesting, isn't it? And sad.
Yeah. And I said, oh, in what way? And they said, well, we don't really see the horrors. We don't hear about what's going off. It's more how that conflict is affecting us as British people, the cost of living and things like that. It doesn't actually focus on what is really happening to those people out there. It's crazy, really. So
yeah, the story definitely needs to be told, and keep telling it.
I think it's massively down to him that they've managed to hang on as long as they have. I've got so much respect and love for him. I think he's great. So.
And I think he's being inspirational to people on the front line as well, because he is there on the front line, but he's also giving them the hope that it's worth fighting for, and that their government is 100% behind them, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think I'd probably admit that listening to his nightly videos that he does every night on Instagram, I think that's partly responsible for the reason I ended up out there in the first place. Because I remember watching one where he said, victory for us is saving as many lives as we can and getting people to safety, and I thought, I can help then. I can help get people to safety, and but I didn't quite expect it to go as far as it has. So
Yeah, we'll keep going. And it's been amazing speaking to you. Thank you so much for your
Yeah, thank
time.
you so much for speaking to me.